Welcome back to my channel. Jainism, often hailed as the world's most peaceful religion, is renowned for its monks' unwavering commitment to non-violence. They go to extraordinary lengths to avoid harm, such as sweeping the ground as they walk to avoid stepping on any life forms, covering their mouths to prevent breathing on living creatures, and strictly adhering to a vegetarian diet that excludes not just meat, fish, and eggs, but even root vegetables like potatoes. But what exactly is Jainism? What does its symbol represent, and why would a Jain monk be naked? Let's dive in and uncover the answers. Jainism is an ancient spiritual path, one of the four Dharma traditions originating on the Indian subcontinent. It is one of the oldest religions and one of the oldest philosophies in the world. Some people consider it a form of atheism, but more about this later. It emerged in ancient India during the 6th and 5th centuries BCE, shaped by two prevailing concepts. The first concept is karma, where one's actions, whether good or bad, determine future rebirths. The second concept is samsara, which describes the cycle of death and rebirth that souls endure, a process Jainism seeks to escape. Its name is derived from the Sanskrit word jina, which means conqueror or victor. The term refers to someone who has conquered their inner passions and desires, achieving a state of spiritual victory and liberation. Jainism traces its spiritual lineage to a succession of 24 tirthankaras, spiritual teachers who have achieved enlightenment. The term tirthankara is derived from two Sanskrit words, tirtha, meaning ford or crossing, and kara, meaning maker. Hence, a tirthankara is often referred to as a ford maker or crossing maker. The concept of the ford maker is metaphorical. Just as a ford helps people cross a river, a tirthankara helps beings cross the ocean of samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, to reach liberation. The last and most well-known tirthankara is Mahavira, 599-527 BCE, who is often considered the founder of modern Jainism. As of recent estimates, there are approximately 4 to 5 million Jains worldwide. The majority of them reside in India, however. Jain communities can also be found in various countries around the world, including the United States, Kenya, Canada, and the United Kingdom. Now, Jainism can seem intricate, so let's break it down into its core principles with the help of the Jain symbol. Adopted in the 1970s, this symbol encapsulates the core beliefs, fundamental concepts, and symbols of Jainism. The outline of the symbol, which looks like a figure of a person standing with their feet apart and arms resting on both hips, represents the universe as described in Jain Agamas. It consists of 3 loks, realms. The upper portion indicates heaven, where souls enjoy infinite bliss after achieving moksha. This is where the tirthankaras reside. The semicircular top portion symbolizes Siddhashila, what is a zone beyond the 3 realms. All the liberated souls, or siddhas, reside here forever, liberated from the cycle of life and death, samsara. The middle portion indicates the material world where humans are trapped, and our goal is to elevate our souls to reach the top of the universe and achieve moksha. The lower portion indicates hell. Jain hell is divided into 7 layers of increasing severity. Souls undergo purification in hell until their bad karma is exhausted, allowing them to be reborn on earth again. However, unlike in other religions, Jain hell isn't a punitive place, but rather a natural consequence of accumulated bad karma. Now, let us look at the parts of the Jain symbol. On the top, there is the abode of liberated souls. The 3 dots under this portion symbolize the Ratnatraya, or the 3 jewels. Tirthankaras taught that the liberation of the soul hinges on these 3 jewels. The first jewel is right faith, which involves accepting the 7 truths or tattvas of Jainism. 1. Jiva. This refers to the belief that the universe is filled with countless souls. All living beings possess an immortal and perfect soul, which identifies itself with a physical body until it can no longer function. 2. Ajiva. Non-living entities are devoid of a soul. 3. Asrava. Every action accumulates karma to your soul. 4. Bandha. Karma can bind to your soul. 5. Samvara. You can halt the inflow of karma. 6. Nirjara. You can shed accumulated karma from your soul. 7. Moksha. Liberation occurs when karma is completely separated from the soul, freeing it from the cycle of birth and death. The second jewel is right knowledge, which is about deeply understanding these truths. This understanding can be attained through listening to Jain monks and studying Jain scriptures. The final jewel is right behavior, where one uses their faith and knowledge to lead a virtuous life that avoids harm to others. This is achieved by adhering to the 5 great vows of Jainism, known as the Mahavratas. 1. Ahimsa, nonviolence in thought, word, and deed, considered the foremost vow and strictly observed by all Jains. 2. Satya, truthfulness. 3. Asteya, not stealing. 4. Brahmacharya, chastity or fidelity. 5. Aparigraha, non-possessiveness, avoiding unnecessary attachments to people, places, or things. These 3 jewels, right faith, right knowledge, and right behavior, are regarded as the sole path to moksha, the liberation of the soul. Ahimsa, in particular, holds utmost importance and guides much of Jain's ethical practice. Under the 3 dots is the swastika symbol. The swastika is an ancient symbol revered across many Indian religions, though its associations with the Nazis have complicated its perception in modern times. The word swastika means well-being. The 4 arms of the swastika symbolize the 4 places where a soul could be reborn in samsara: heaven, hell, humanity, and flora or fauna before the soul attains moksha. Every living being, from the smallest grape to the mightiest god, possesses the potential to be reborn as a human and attain moksha. The 4 arms also represent the 4 infinite aspects of the soul: infinite knowledge, infinite perception, infinite happiness, and infinite energy. The symbol of the hand symbolizes ahimsa, or nonviolence towards all creatures in this world, alongside the inscription that reads, "All life is bound together by mutual support and interdependence." Jains believe that every living being, down to the tiniest microbe, possesses a soul capable of experiencing pain and suffering. This belief underscores Jain's advocacy for animal and human welfare, a principle that predates modern concepts of animal rights by millennia. The circle in the middle of the hand symbolizes samsara, and the 24 spokes represent the 24 tirthankaras. Other symbols of Jainism I would like to mention are the mupati mouth shield and the peacock feather whisk. The mupati is a small cloth used to cover the mouth. Its purpose is to prevent small life forms from being ingested accidentally while speaking or breathing. This practice highlights the Jain commitment to nonviolence and care for even the smallest living beings. The peacock feather whisk is used to gently sweep the ground free of any life forms, ensuring that no creatures are harmed as one moves. The feathers are collected only after they have naturally fallen from the bird, ensuring that no peacock is harmed in the process. This symbol further emphasizes the Jain principle of ahimsa, nonviolence, towards all living beings. The theory of karma. While commonly understood as actions and their consequences, Jains perceive karma as a physical substance, akin to atoms that pervade the universe. Every action attracts karmic particles, whether good or bad, to the soul, perpetuating the cycle of rebirth. Unlike other philosophies where good karma is desirable, Jains focus on eliminating all karma to achieve liberation. The pure nature of the soul is obscured by karma. Picture the sun obscured by clouds. This illustrates how karma, when attached to the soul, keeps it from shining. There are many types of karma. However, they are broadly classified into 8 categories. The first 4 karmas are called gati karmas because they obscure the natural qualities of the soul. The last 4 karmas are known as agati karmas because they are associated with the physical body of the soul. Later in life, or perhaps in another incarnation, karma releases its effects, both good and bad. Once these effects manifest, they detach from your soul. Passions like hate, anger, greed, or lust act like glue, attracting more karmic atoms to you and intensifying the consequences. Karma, in essence, binds you to the cycle of samsara, the cycle of birth and rebirth. You can break free from this cycle by burning away all attached karma. The most effective path to achieve this is by becoming a Jain monk or nun. Monks, nuns, and regular Jains. Jain monks and nuns live very ascetic lives. No cars, walking barefoot everywhere, and depending on what people offer them. They are not priests. Their lives revolve around the 5 Mahavratas, the great vows we briefly discussed earlier. The first Mahavrata is Ahimsa. For regular Jains, this means avoiding harm to other forms of life. For monks and nuns, Ahimsa is taken to the extreme, encompassing even microscopic life forms. They strictly adhere to a vegetarian diet, avoiding raw or night-eaten food, and meticulously inspecting their meals to prevent accidental ingestion of other life forms. Since they can't cook, they rely on daily alms rounds from Jain households, a deeply revered practice among regular Jains who donate food to support them. Monks and nuns carry small brooms to sweep away tiny life forms in their path to avoid unintentional harm. They eschew vehicles and baths to minimize their environmental impact, with some even wearing mouthguards to prevent harm to airborne life with their breath. The second Mahavrata is truthfulness, and the third is non-stealing, principles that ideally everyone should follow, Jain or not. The fourth Mahavrata is complete celibacy. Strict Jains believe that sexual activity results in the death of numerous microorganisms contained in semen, or people pollen, as they term it. Moreover, they view romantic attachments as a form of worldly entanglement. The fifth and final Mahavrata is non-possession. Monks and nuns possess only essential items like their brooms and move daily to avoid attachment to any particular place. This lifestyle is revered among Jains for its commitment to non-violence and is seen as the optimal path to achieving moksha. Regular Jains, however, make up the vast majority of the Jain community and typically aspire to become monks or nuns in future lives. They follow the Anuvrata, a less stringent version of the 5 great vows. These vows encourage regular Jains to avoid violence, lying, stealing, unfaithfulness, and excessive attachment to wealth. Regular Jains are known for their charitable nature, directing donations towards temples, health clinics, schools, libraries, and animal shelters rather than directly supporting monks or nuns. Strict vegetarianism is a norm among regular Jains, with eggs classified as meat and honey avoided due to its impact on insects. Fermented foods are also eschewed, and root vegetables like potatoes, onions, and garlic are avoided because uprooting them causes harm to the plant. Despite these dietary restrictions, Jains have excelled in professions like business and law, reflecting their commitment to ethical conduct and nonviolence in all aspects of life. Anekāntavāda, the doctrine of multiple viewpoints. Life is complex. To grasp its complexities, Jains developed the doctrine of Anekāntavāda, which asserts that no single viewpoint can encompass absolute truth. Instead, truth must be synthesized from multiple perspectives. An illustrative Jain story depicts 6 blind men touching different parts of an elephant and describing it in contradictory ways. A wise elder explains that each man perceives a fragment of the truth, but only together do their accounts form a complete understanding of the elephant. For example, the one who touches the leg says the elephant is like a tree trunk. Another, touching the tusk, describes it as a sharp spear, etc., etc. This principle of tolerance towards diverse perspectives is often seen as part of Ahimsa by modern Jains, particularly in their interactions with other religions. Concept of God. But questions may arise. Does Jainism have a concept of God? To whom do Jains pray? Jainism's concept of God is distinctive. They don't believe in God as a creator of the universe like other religions do, but rather in the universe's eternal existence. As far as Jains are concerned, the universe has always existed and will always exist on its own, governed by universal natural laws. The universe is eternal, and Jainism has been around all along. Liberated souls at the pinnacle of the loka have transcended all desires and thus have no role in earthly affairs. Jains venerate these liberated souls to emulate their qualities rather than seek intervention in their lives. Some Jains also worship the gods of the heavenly realms, similar to Hindus, but Jain theology views these gods as imperfect beings still entangled in samsara, much like humans. The beings that live in the heavenly kingdoms are not gods since they are still subject to karma and reincarnation. These beings are called devas. This makes it challenging to provide a clear answer to the question, is Jainism atheistic? Scholar Heinrich Zimmer proposed that a new term, transtheistic, is needed to describe Jainism, meaning it is beyond arguments about the existence of a god. Jains also have festivals, pilgrimages, meditation, prayer, and fasting. Jains do not pray for favors, material goods, or rewards. In Jainism, the purpose of prayer is to overcome worldly attachments and desires, aiding in the liberation of the soul. Religious sects in Jainism. Now, regarding religious sects, Jainism, like any major religion, has its divisions. The two principal sects are the Digambara and the Svetambara. You might wonder, what could be the reason behind this split? The Digambaras, known as sky-clad, argue that true renunciation requires monks to forsake all worldly attachments, including clothing. This stance historically led to the belief that women couldn't achieve moksha because they couldn't appear naked in public, a notion largely assumed rather than doctrinally supported. On the other hand, the Svetambaras, or white-clad, maintain that mental detachment from clothing suffices, allowing monks and women alike to pursue moksha. While there are other doctrinal differences, such as scriptural acceptance, the clothing debate remains the central theological divide. Over millennia, Jains have wielded significant influence in India, contributing to its cultural and intellectual heritage in profound ways. By shaping its vegetarian-friendly diet and influencing Gandhi's independence movement with the concept of Ahimsa, Jainism is increasingly becoming known beyond India, introducing many challenging ideas. While many people assume the world exists for human consumption and fulfillment of desires, Jains view it differently. They see the world as something to renounce. In their worldview, humans aren't dominant over other life forms, but are intricately interconnected with animals and plants, which are not mere commodities but integral parts of a larger web of existence. In recent times, Jainism has found itself in a unique position. Its ancient philosophy resonates strongly with modern concerns about nonviolence, strict vegetarianism, and an environmentally conscious outlook. These principles are increasingly relevant in a world grappling with its own overconsumption and environmental challenges. So, those are the basics of Jainism, though a single video can't possibly cover everything. Religions are diverse and profound and mean different things to different people. Yet, understanding even the fundamentals of beliefs that millions hold dear offers us insight into diverse worldviews. I hope you found this exploration enlightening. You can find all the sources used in the video description. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Stay curious, stay brave.